I only love it with some passion. Rubber band and the money that keeps stacking. Got a honey who come with elite fashion. She too fine, I tell her that thing magic. You ain't a hustler, you broke, well that seems tragic. Gotta catch in the field like deep passes. I tell her plug if it's sticky, then please bag it. I need the best cause I grew up beneath madness. Need a Matt Burgundy Mercy. Jewelry so heavy it might hurt me. Smoking extra kill, that extra seal. Whoa. Buffalo money need extra bills till I'm eating so much I gotta.
Yo, what is up? It's your boy Sterls for the girls, and guess what? It is Tuesday night, and we are doing this thing right here called the Chop Up. And I'm happy to be here, happy to hang out with you guys tonight. The usual suspects aren't here because they're traveling. You know, when you spent time in the Meadowlands and you witnessed that atrocity that we witnessed Monday night, you know, you get all the grace. You get all the grace, man. Thank you for being here. For those who are going to watch, you know, this show tonight, I'm just going to warn you now. I got a special guest coming up in here. And my man's don't pull no punches. But tonight, it's therapy. Because we got to make sense of this. We had all day today at work. For those of you, you know, you had to go in the office like myself. Everybody wants to come up. Hey, how about them Bills? That's what I heard all day today. How about those Buffalo Bills? Like, bro, I ain't trying to hear it, man. So tonight, it's therapy. We're going to get through this. We're going to make it. All is not lost. Things will get better. But I'm going to go ahead and bring in my dog right now. Add him to the stage. Big New. What's up, baby? How you doing, dog?
What's up, Chief? How you doing, man? I love your intro song, man. Is that you?
No, I wish. That's Hooli.
Okay, man. I love that, man. I'm about to get him go on our show, man, to do our song, man.
Yeah,
that was fire. Oh, yeah, that was fire, bro. I love it. What's going on?
It's the best intro song in Buffalo Rumblings podcast. It's the best intro song. It is.
Hey, I think it could be, bro. That was fire. I'm up here dancing. I'm in the back like, oh, shoot, okay. I'm getting ready.
Oh, man. You know, what's up? Where do I even start?
Where do you start?
Where do you start? You know, the title of the show tonight is where do we go from here? Like, where do we go from here? Because I'm dumbfounded. I'm shooketh at the events that took place last night.
I feel you, bro. And I was the same way yesterday at work, man. I had my Bills polo on with my blue khakis matching real nicely. Everybody high-fiving you like that. Because everybody, what I like to see, man, it's a lot of young Bills fans now. And so that's good. You know what I'm saying? So we bringing in a newer generation of Bills Mafia. And it was tough today, man. It was tough. Everybody asked me what happened. And it starts and ends with Josh Allen, man. And
yeah,
this is one of the worst games he ever had. 4 turnovers, 3 picks, and 1 fumble, man. And that's the beginning and the end. And he took ownership in the post game, so I respect it.
Oh, but we're gonna get into all that because you just dropped a couple bombs.
My bad. I'm off strip.
You know, we first of all, okay, before we even jump in anything Bills related, like, you know, you got enough balls on the shelf back there or what, man?
Hey, man, that's my boom room, man. You know, I got my footballs and stuff from Pro Bowls I've been to. The basketballs have been for Final Fours, and my daughter play on the Nike circuit, some tournament she been in. So that's all that stuff back there.
Oh, you got a hooper in the fam, huh?
Yeah, she's a hooper, man. She all right. She cool. Come here.
See, that means she's a dog out there.
She's all right, man. She a 5'11" guard, man. So,
what's up, girl?
Simone Newt. He says hello, man. It's Sterling. So 5'11" guard, ranked number 9 in the state of Virginia in the class of 25. So she all right.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay. My son is 12. He's in the circuit too. He plays for Chauncey Billups' squad.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. My little plays for Fairfax Stars.
Okay.
On the Nike circuit. Yep.
All right. Well, shoot, man. At least that's the good news. Like, we got kids, they doing good, they eating, they playing. That's the good news, okay?
Right.
Let's talk about this game, shall we? And let me give a shout out to my dog right here. That's my bro right there. I'm gonna be in Buffalo. Come hit me up, Matt. Matt is he's a kingpin around here in Buffalo Rumblers, man. He watches every show. That's my guy. He mostly agrees with everything I say, so he even goes even higher in my list of people I like. Okay, but back into this game, man. So like you were saying, we go to work, we high-fiving people, everybody's like, go Bills, because like you really can't like be mad at the Bills or like be a hater of the Bills, right? Like you're pretty much one of the, everybody's like goodwill towards the Bills. You know what I'm saying? We come in and we lay an egg. First of all, I didn't get your thoughts. And now they heard me on the post game last night. Big Newt, tell me Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. What were your initial thoughts after that?
I was praying for him, man. And me being, and I said this on my show, we recorded today, just tomorrow noon, the Jamie D. Big Newt show. Check it out. But I said it on our recording, man. I'm an ex-athlete myself. And I remember vividly when Tom Brady got his leg broke. And I was at the bar in D.C. and everybody cheering. I didn't know what was going on. And it came word that he broke his leg. And then I thought about that last night, and I immediately saw it because Simone, my daughter, had tore her patella tendon last year, so I know what it looks like. It's your Achilles. People don't realize that your Achilles is your ankle, but it runs all the way up the calf, and so what it does is constrict, and you can see it when they do the slow motion. So I immediately knew, seeing that, it was his Achilles probably popped, and so I prayed for him, man. Because I don't ever want to see especially him, man. He's a legend. I don't ever want to see anybody get hurt, but he's a legend, man. And for him to be on that stage like that, I felt bad for him. And so when he got taken off the court, I immediately knew what it was. And so now I'm thinking, okay, we should take this game because Wilson started last year, but you being the second string quarterback, how many reps did he get last week in practice? It was probably minimal. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I felt like we were going to get him. And like I said, we just couldn't pull it out.
Everything you said is absolutely true. For me, seeing Rodgers go down, your first thought is, dang, like, it's an Achilles. Like they said it's an ankle, but I didn't see the ankle roll or anything. Okay. It was like a compound injury on the ankle. But like the first thing I thought, I said, that's an Achilles. And I didn't even see the actual Achilles roll up until they showed, kind of in detail a little bit later. And you saw the look on Aaron Rodgers' face, like he knew that something was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So you look at that. Okay, you put Aaron Rodgers to the side. You got Zach Wilson coming in, and I'm thinking, oh, it's go time. Like we about to put it on these boys. Okay,
right.
I had some same game parlays going. I had the Bills with the spread. So like I'm like, yo, I'm about to give me a little spending money for Buffalo in a couple days. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm gonna go to Bar Bill every single day. That's what I'm thinking. Now after the game, I gotta eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
You gotta go to Wendy's. You gotta go to Wendy's and get a 4 for $4.
Yeah, bro. Like I gotta get 4 for $4s every day for dinner. Ain't no per diem on this thing, man. So I'm struggling. I'm a big boy. I gotta eat. And I look at that and I'm like, okay, it's go time. Like the Bills are gonna put it on these boys, even though the defense, we have all the respect for the Jets defense, right? And there's no question about that. But we got to start with Josh Allen first before we even get to the real questions. The real storylines, right? Because there's some things that we got to talk about. Like I want to talk about Sean McDermott's leadership tonight. I want to, in terms of how much control of the offense does he have, and Josh Allen. But his play overall, 3 interceptions, 1 fumble. Come on, Big Newt. Like this is therapy. Like talking me off the ledge, bro. Tell me what you feeling and say it with your whole chest, dog.
Hey man, we did our season predictions a couple weeks ago, and Jamie and I both said that we were not going to win this game, right? Oh. And so we caught some flack, we welcome it. We catch a little flack on Twitter, but we call it the way it is. Mm-hmm. But we were thinking it was going to be Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers would have played yesterday, we would have lost by double digits. All right. I'm sorry, man. I'm just telling the truth. But it's okay because it's only one game. This is why I talk about it's not college football. You know what I'm saying? LSU lost to Florida State week 1. Their season is essentially over unless they go and win the SEC championship. That ain't us. We could lose 7 times and still win a Super Bowl, right? But the deeper problem lies in Josh Allen and how, as time goes on and we get away from Brian Dable, he seems like he's regressing. And you can look at the statistics. He led the league in turnovers last year, and he didn't start off this year with, 4 turnovers. That's just way too much for somebody who's our leader and somebody who's making as much money as he's making. I use the adage, I don't know if you know much about real estate, but in the 70s and 80s, everybody taking out loans on their house. That's like you being upside down in your house, right? That means you owe more than what your house is worth. That's what happened with Josh Allen when you see him like that. We're paying him the most, but he performed the worst. He can't do that. Josh Allen has to at least be okay. And if he would have just been okay, let's say instead of 4 turnovers, he only have 2, we survived last night.
Yeah, let's review these turnovers real quick. He had the first one right down the middle of the field. I think that one was Deontay Hardy on the 3rd and 11 or something like that. That was terrible. When on that play, you could see he had a clear green grass to the first down, and he decided to chuck it up. The second interception in the second half there, he threw one right down the middle. Stephon Diggs in the end zone with 2 people around him. That was awful. The third interception, okay, Gabe Davis runs a lazy route. Okay.
Yes.
He there was no intention of selling that route to the inside and working your way back to the sideline. He just went straight to the post. And you know what? This is the NFL. This ain't college, Big Newt. Them windows are very small in the NFL.
Small.
And Josh Allen had Stephon Diggs open for a first down underneath. And he tries to throw it to Gabe Davis. Ball's picked. Okay.
Yes.
4th turnover. Now this is the one. Like I'm like, okay, like Josh, like bruh. I think this is going to be some kind of draw, something like that, or some, RPO handoff read, something like that. Well, he's not paying attention to the ball, hits him in the face. Okay. Fumbles the ball, gets it now, secures the ball, runs into an offensive lineman, which I'm calling the back fumble. Defensive lineman comes and hits him. He fumbles. And that's the game. That's the game. And that's the Josh Allen thing. Okay. I'm going to say this before I even get into what I think about it. Josh Allen's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Okay. You made a comment about what he said in the presser. I mean, this is how I look at it. If you cheat on your significant other and you say, I'm sorry, she says, you know what, babe, or he or whatever, we're going to work this out. It's okay. Like this is a union. We're going to figure this out. But then you keep doing it. Are you really sorry? Because the behavior's not changing. Okay. You come into the press conference and you say, same shit, different day. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't know how you feel. You tell me how you feel, what you think about this. When he comes to the podium and takes it on the chin, I want my pound of flesh right now. Because that was bad. I get, Newt, you going to throw an interception. I get it. Like, cool. But 4 turnovers? Like the first one, okay. We can scratch that away. It's a punt, basically.
Right. That was a punt. The first one, I can live with that one.
Right.
The other 2, no. And like you said, on the second one, he had all green grass in front of him. He could have ran for the first down. Which I don't, and that's another thing I don't understand, man. It's like, once he get away from Dable, it's like he's playing dumber.
Yeah.
Dude, what about the run where he tried to jump over the dude and he like 8 yards from the sticks? And I love that Sean McDermott was like, hey, think, be smart. Like, that was probably the best part of the game because I was so frustrated. I'm like, somebody has to talk to him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. So He gets up there in the presser, and I'm just not impressed. Like, there's nothing that you're saying that inspires me to like, okay, like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that he did that has inspired me, because it's the same stuff that we keep talking about. When he was a rookie, it was okay because you're figuring out, buddy. But you're on all these commercials now, and I'm gonna preface this, Big Newt, and you can tell me if I'm crazy or if I'm out of bounds. I'm not saying a player can't have a life outside of football, but when you come in the offseason, you say, you know what, I'm going to be more focused than ever this coming season. I'm locked in. You go out, you're on every commercial. You might as well have been on Charmin on toilet paper, 3-ply. Do that commercial next. Okay. Do that commercial next. And you come out here, you had all off season to prepare for the Jets. And that is what you do. Talk to me, bro. Like, this is not like, okay, we lost a 1-score game because it was back and forth. Like, I can deal with the Mahomes back and forth.
Right.
You know,
Right.
But this, no, fam, that ain't gonna cut it.
Right. I totally agree. That's why I said once again on our pod, I could live with a loss, but I don't ever want to go back to the Billsy losses. I don't want to feel like that. We're too good that be like that, like when we were in a drought. Last night felt like a drought loss, and I hate feeling like that. I hate feeling like that. It was bad quarterback play, right, on national TV. Do you remember we played the Cowboys on Monday Night Football? I'd say it was probably 20. I want to say like 20.
Romo game?
Yes.
Yes, I remember that.
We were up like, Monday Night Football. Leonis McKelvin fumbled on a kickoff, and then we gave up like a 25, 30-point lead and lost. That's what I felt like last night. Like, if we're gonna lose like you just said, lose like we lost to the Chiefs in the playoffs. Because you could lose and people still think you're good. But see, when you got you got Miami. Look at how they look this weekend. You know what I'm saying? The Patriots didn't look bad. We're the only team in our division that looked bad this weekend. Right. I don't like feeling like that.
Yeah, no, I don't like feeling like that either. And for those of you at home, if you haven't followed, and subscribed to the Buffalo Rumblers Vidcast feed, to all our podcasts on Buffalo Rumblers, man, it's hot around here. We keep it locked and loaded all season long. This is rough. This is rough, man. This is rough. So you made a comment about Brian Daboll's absence in the locker room, and I gotta say, like, somebody has to be and I haven't been in the locker room, Newt. This is just speculation, but I feel like, okay, when I look at guys like LeBron James, I look at guys like Steph Curry. Those are guys, in my opinion, Klay Thompson, Damian Lillard, those are guys that have the green light. Like, coach says, you know what? Like, I'm validating your work ethic. I'm validating your commitment to the game. I'm validating your ability in these situations. You can take those shots, right?
Right.
I feel like we gave Josh this, green light. Like, do it, baby, do it. Part of that is, I think, we haven't had something like Josh. Josh is a once-in-a-lifetime talent. Like, let's be real. He is.
Right.
And everything I'm saying, it's okay to criticize Josh Allen. This, for everyone at home, I don't want you to think I don't like him. I love Josh Allen. But we have to start being real about where we are as a team. And the standards have risen, Newt. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we can't be thinking like we're the drought Bills.
Right.
We have to hold ourselves to a higher standard. And that's the Super Bowl now. It's not making playoffs and squeak by.
Right. and that's the thing. If you just want to be okay and hopefully we can win the division and we get out to the first, second round, all right, cool. Yeah. But you're right. My criticism of Josh Allen is I'm trying to win a Super Bowl, right? That's where we are now. So I'm looking at it from a Super Bowl or type bust type deal, because everybody's talking about the fact that our window's closing, and everybody's been on us, and all the people this weekend picked us to lose, and everybody, we get disrespected. Well, we get disrespected and we go out there and look like that, and so Josh validated at least for 1 week. all the criticism that we've been taking.
Preach.
You know, so I mean, and some people don't want to hear that, but we gonna spit the facts. I don't not like them. I love them, but some people, man, you got children. We just talked about that a minute ago. Some parents, I'm a teacher by trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
So some people think that their kids are perfect. You don't talk about my kids regardless. But when I tell you your kids doing this in school, you want to get mad at me. No, man, don't get mad at me. You know, but we old school. Like my parents. If my teacher ever said something about me, my parents be going across my head before I even get my side of the story. Some of these parents ain't like that. So I'm saying all that to say an analogy that some fans are like, don't talk about my quarterback. Well, he my quarterback too. But I would be real with you. He stuck it up. It's just okay though.
Yep,
it ain't like I'm saying fire him. It ain't like I'm saying, get rid of him, trade him. I'm not saying none of that. But what I am saying is this. He needs to be more disciplined.
Yes.
Because you're right. You're right. He's out there like he's Curry, he can shoot threes from half court. He out there like LeBron, I can do what I want to do. No, we have to be more disciplined if we want to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
Because now you're making all the money, and it's about the money. Everybody like Big New. Why you talk about that damn money? Because the salary cap plays a big part in it.
Sir.
Because you saw us last night without Tremaine Evans. We're a different defense without Tremaine Evans. Why don't we have Tremaine Evans? Because Josh Allen, his contract is kicking in. So as your contract kicking in, you're going to start losing talent around you. So that means he has to play better because we don't have as much talent around him. Yeah. Look at Joe Burrow. Watch what happens in Cincinnati. Now that he got his contract, they're going to lose one or maybe two of those receivers.
Oh, Higgins he's going to be gone. They're going to be.
He's going to be gone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're looking at. That's why our window was probably the peak of our window was probably 2 years ago when he was still on his rookie contract. Mm-hmm. Unless you're gonna be Mahomes and you're gonna carry us to the Super Bowl. If not, then we gotta be able to pay these other guys or draft well. And that's the next thing. Have we really been drafting well? You know?
Yeah, you just spit out a lot.
I'm sorry, man. I hate
no,
to go
that's
there.
good. It's thought provoking. It's therapy. So, like, if the Bills were to win, if they had won a Super Bowl in Josh Allen's tenure thus far, the conversation would be a little different today because it's one of those things, and it goes back to what I was saying about Curry. Those are proven outside of Damian Lillard, who I named. Outside of those guys, everyone else I mentioned have won. They've won it. They've been to the pinnacle. They won the championship. They've shown you the discipline, the fortitude to reel it. We know we're great. We know we're generational, but we got to reel it in sometimes and be disciplined for the betterment of the team, not ourselves. And I felt like Josh Allen was selfish. He was selfish.
Yes.
The Jets defense is designed. Their game plan with Josh Allen is we're going to give you everything underneath that you want. And we're going to dare you to move the ball down the field slowly. But we are not giving you the big play. And if you get impatient and you throw that ball deep or you throw that ball in double coverage, we're going to make you pay. And unfortunately for them, they were in the right position to make us pay. I'm glad they lost this game for the simple fact, hopefully, if Josh can learn his lesson, like if I look at what he said in the presser for face value, and I'm going to say this is positive about Josh Allen. Josh Allen and his family, they're generational farmers, so they understand hard work. We've seen Josh Allen come into this league and show the character and what it takes to be a good NFL quarterback, a great NFL quarterback. Mm-hmm. I don't think that he's a lost cause, but I do think some of our greatest characteristics as people can be our greatest downfalls. And his athletic ability is one of the greatest things that he brings to the table, and that he could do almost anything. But that's going to be his downfall with his team if he doesn't get it together.
I 100% agree, man. He has to be disciplined.
Yeah.
Especially as you get older and your athleticism starts to dwindle, is how smart you're going to be, you know? And like I said, some of that is on him and some of that is on coaching, you know? So maybe that's why he wanted Dorsey as a coach. You feel like Dorsey ain't going to be on his butt. I don't know. But I know he, co-signed and Dorsey be the offensive coordinator where he probably need more of a disciplinarian. And like I said, I knew once we lost Brian Dable, that was gonna be it was gonna be bad, and we kind of seen that, man. You know, so you can't overlook coaching, man. That's very important in this league.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's kind of talk about Ken Dorsey here. So, Ken Dorsey, he was under the microscope for a lot of us here at Buffalo Rumblings. We on our shows we talk about the importance of Ken Dorsey coming into his second year, giving Josh Allen more easy access throws, getting Josh Allen to more of a rhythm. Okay. Now we're going to talk about something, different too, because I feel like maybe Ken Dorsey needs to be more like Brian Dable and really get in Josh's face when needed. You know what I'm saying? He needs to be the general now. Like, we need you to be the general, not Brian Dable, but Ken Dorsey. So the play calling, like, I felt like in the first half, I really liked the play calling. I love, like, I even tweeted out, the way they were deploying James Cook and those counter runs and kind of mixing up and giving him different kind of looks in the run game. I like that approach. Like, James Cook's gonna bust one eventually. It's just gonna happen. Okay. The use of Deontay Hardy, 3 catches, 9 yards ain't gonna cut it. They got to use him more. But what I was really frustrated with in the second half, we went away from the run game. We did not see the quarterback power or power sweep that we've grown accustomed to. I saw it Sunday night with Daniel Jones. I didn't see it with Josh Allen. They didn't run anything like that. They stopped running the ball and they kept putting it in Josh Allen's hands. And it's like, you're up. You're up. Why are we still trying to chuck the ball down the field? I just don't understand it. Thoughts on the offensive coordinator?
I did like some of the play. I just didn't understand the longest run Cook had of the night. It was a 12-yard run, right? It was out of I formation and it was off tackle.
Yeah,
I just don't understand why we did so much between the tackles. And I'm guessing because Osiris Torrent is probably our best run blocker, so maybe we wanted to run behind him. I just would like to see Cook on the perimeter and not run up the middle as much. So I kind of had a problem with that. Like I said, his longest run, it was off tackle in the eye. I wish we could have just seen that a little bit more.
Well, I understand why you run right at Quinnen Williams time to time, because you have to keep the defense honest, and you kind of have to see what this the Bills' interior offensive line is made of. Like, think about it. You got Mitch Morse. Osiris Torrance is a good run blocker. Connor McGovern I think he's an average run blocker. He's a much better in pass protection. So you got guys in the middle that you have to be able to, okay, this is your strength. We're gonna try it out, because if we just deploy, I'm not saying you're saying this, but if we just deploy Cook on the outside, Quinnen Williams was busting his ass. Like he was playing an all-world linebacker game. Like, that dude was sideline to sideline. And I'm not even talking about CJ Mosley.
Right.
It was great.
I agree. No, I agree. It's just up the middle, man. I feel like that was the strength of their defense. I would have liked to see us outside more, but they have a great defense, man. Kudos to them. I mean, it's kind of like you pick your poison. So you're right.
Yeah.
The linebackers played a good game. So, but our linebackers played a decent game too.
Well, Milano.
Oh man, he looked good, bro.
He's the only one that played good on the back end on that.
Well, Bernard had led us in tackles. He had 11 or 12 tackles, I think.
I think it was 7. I think he had 7, 8 tackles. I can find out here. Now check this out. So let's talk about the run fits here, okay? We saw the Bills gave up 2 big runs. Okay, they gave up the 83-yard scamper, and they gave up the 26-yard run. Okay, from Breece Hall. That's 2 rushes for 109 yards. That's unacceptable. I mean, that is unacceptable. But on those runs, I felt like Terrell Bernard, 1, he had him misaligned, and 2, Trey White in run support is just awful. He made 4 attempts, and we know Trey White's a bad tackler, right? Outside of those 2 runs, and I even hate framing it this way. Outside of those 2 runs, it was fine. But those 2 runs are glaring, and it's one of those things where we look at this team, and we got to be honest. We ain't that stout in the interior as we think we are with Ed Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
He was the no-show. I mean, he controlled his gap. He had some pressures, but he's just not. I guess we have to come to the realization that he's just not going to be this game-altering playmaker.
Like Williams. See, that's the thing. When you take a D tackle in the top 10, you want to look like Williams. And Ed Oliver, he's cool. He's a guy, but you got to realize we spent top 10 capital on him. So that's the glaring difference.
Right.
You know, is he really an impact player week in, week out? No.
Yeah.
No. So we play in 6 days, man. It's over, or not even 6 days. We play a Sunday, we play in 5 days. So
I can't get past it, bro. Like I'm gonna be at the game on Sunday and I'm gonna be there like this. Like, ain't nothing you're gonna do that's gonna impress me. Cause I'm still mad.
No, you won't. You'll get into it because it's gonna be electric. It's gonna be electric at Orchard Park, man. I wish I could be there, man. Y'all gonna have a great time. Once we're like 9 or 10 point favorites against the Raiders, who beat Denver. Yeah, they beat Denver. They're like we're almost 10 point favorites. So Vegas is thinking we're gonna take all our anger out on the Raiders this weekend.
Oh, we are. Yeah. We're gonna stomp them boys.
Yeah.
We're gonna stomp them boys. All right.
I think so.
You know, we're gonna get into there's a couple while I have you on, Big Newt, there's a couple other topics that we're gonna talk about. We're gonna take a break here in a second, but I want to talk to you about Gabe Davis being a no-show last night. Okay. And then we'll shift our focus to the defense, and we'll start talking about some things that we liked. Okay, I don't want to keep this show on a negative because we can go on and on. I can go on and on and on about what I didn't like, but I kind of want to shift. It's Tuesday, and we need to go into a hump day. We need to go into hump day a little bit better than we were today. You feel me? You feel me?
Yeah.
So
it was some good things. So
there were some good things to look.
Good things.
There were some good things. So we're gonna do we got a couple breaks here, and then I'll hit you on the other side.
You got to pay them bills.
Is back. Are you ready for it? The third annual Buffalo Rumblings IPA beer release party is going down September 16th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Resurgence Brewing Company located downtown at 55 Chicago Street. I'm going to tell you what, you do not want to miss this event. Come out and hang with Joe, Sarah, and the rest of the Buffalo Rumblings crew for the Megapod. You're going to want to bring your questions and be a part of the live stream. Get involved. It's going to be live. And this year, we're also going to have our friends from Fans of Buffalo joining the party and sponsoring the fun. They're going to be in the house to provide you with all the information you need to make your away game day experience the easiest and the most smooth that you've ever had in your life. I can promise you, they do their job very well. So make sure you make it out Saturday, September 16th, 6 p.m., Resurgence Brewing Company, 55 Chicago Street. Go Bills.
Yes, sir. The Resurgence Brewing Company. Hey, I'm gonna be there. It's gonna be fun. So it's a family event. So bring the whole family out. Don't nobody throw no party in the Buffalo Bills community in terms of the podcast creation business than Buffalo Rumblers, baby. And we got a beer, and it's good. And I'm gonna have about 5 of them things. Okay, shoot, I'm gonna have about 5 of them. So make sure y'all come out, man. I'm gonna have to take some pictures and send them to you, bro. Because
please do post them, man. I'm gonna miss it. I wish I could be there, but I know y'all gonna have a good time, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Gabe Davis. I think the Bills have a wide receiver 2 problem. Officially now. Officially. Okay, I'm going to get your thoughts on this, okay? Look, all off season, painting the picture. All off season, we talked about Josh needs more weapons. Bean said, you know what? I'm going to give you Kincaid, and we're going to kind of use him like Cole Beasley, but he's a tight end. We really want to do 12 personnel. And then we're going to punt on this wide receiver thing early, which a lot of you guys at Buffalo Rumblers was talking about, clamoring for. We're going to punt on that, and we're going to take Justin Shorter in the 5th round. Training camp happens. Gabe, we hear a lot about Gabe Davis and what he's done. Good receivers play well in prime time. Big Newt, where was Gabe? I'm like, it's a where's Waldo moment. Where was Gabe?
I have no idea. He had the one good catch early on, man. That was wonderful. Almost broke it. I don't know. Like you said, man, we've been hearing good things about him all throughout training camp and in the preseason. Then you get on Monday Night Football and lay an egg. I think he had 2 catches,
Two.
two for 30 some yards. I think.
Two.
Yeah, that's. I mean, and your counterpart, our wide receiver one, had 10 catches for 100 yards. We need more production there, but it goes back to what you said earlier, man. When Josh Allen threw the interception, he ran a lazy route. And sometimes that happens to receivers if they feel like they're not getting the ball, they're not going 100%. Then the ball be on top of them, they're not ready. I think that's what happens. So it's once again, like we said about Josh Allen, it's one game,
Right.
but we need more production. But once again, that goes back to GM, and man, we should address that issue. And these are things we say, and then the fans would be like, "Well, Big New, you don't know what you're talking about. Let them. They get paid for this. Let them know you don't know nothing." I'm like, "All right, you wait and see." Wide receiver 2, and the other one, I hope you're gonna talk about also, is a right tackle. Spencer
we're gonna
Brown
get
was
into
getting
Spencer Brown.
Okay, all right.
We're gonna do him next. We're gonna do him next.
Okay, good.
Dalton Kincaid, I'm a big fan. I love Dalton Kincaid, Big Newt. Like, that's my dog. Like, I love him. But Josh didn't utilize him enough. And on that one of the interceptions that he threw to Stephon Diggs, he had one-on-one with a smaller safety. Okay? One-on-one with the other safety on the other side that he had him on a post. And he could have thrown him a ball that was catchable. You could throw him a jump ball there. That's what Dalton King, like, he had some of the best hands, not just a tight end, but at wide receiver in this draft, and we did not utilize him well enough. Why would you not throw it to a one-on-one Dalton Kincaid versus a safety, but you throw it to Stephon Diggs on 2 people? It doesn't make sense.
I have no idea. But I'm gonna tell you, man, Dalton Kincaid, I love the way he's been probably the most reliable receiver that we had, throughout the summer to now. The dude catches everything, and not only catches everything, but he catches it with his hands.
Right.
And so when he catches it, and you saw last night, he had 4 catches for like 30 yards or whatnot. But this dude catches it and he leans forward. He has a forward lean, and he's delivering blows as he falls forward. He ain't getting knocked backward. I think that's something we could have used last night, because I feel like on Monday Night Football, not only Josh Allen probably didn't play well, but I feel like we were out physical at some points. You know what I'm saying? I think, like I said, that linebacker, we all over the field laying blows. Don't get me wrong, Matt Milano was laying blows, and our D-line was getting to the quarterback. But I'm just talking about just being physical, one-on-one situations. I feel like Dalton Kincaid was definitely a bright spot there.
Yeah, Dalton Kincaid was a bright spot, and I hope, again, it's one game. I do hope that they utilize him better moving forward, because he's a weapon, and he can alleviate a lot of Josh's problems. Josh got to trust him, and I want to make. I was last night on the post game show. I made a point. B is kind of alluding to it here. She said he's going out of his way to prove him and Steph are okay. So let me speak to this, and thank you, B. That's my girl. We're gonna get them Bar Bill wings, girl, in a couple days. But let me speak to this a little bit, Big Newt. I was having a conversation with one of my homies, Chris, before the game even started, and this is what I said. I said, you know what? I feel like Stephon Diggs is going to get between 10 to 15 targets tonight. Okay, I feel like Josh has to prove to the world that him and Steph are okay, and he wants to make a statement. Now, let's freeze that right there. Look at who Josh Allen is. Okay, Josh Allen is a peacemaker. He is. Like, he wants things to be okay. He's a super good dude. Like, and he really values Stephon Diggs, and that relationship they have, I feel like it's very real. Like, we're human. You and I are human. I would feel the same type of way towards Stephon Diggs if I'm Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would want to get him involved, because Stephon Diggs in Cincinnati said, you know what? He didn't say this outright, but he alluded, it's like, I felt like he was trying to say, yo, like, with his hands spread out like this, he's saying, hey, I need the ball more. Y'all should have given me the ball more. I only had 4 catches or something for 37 yards in a playoff game. That can't happen. So this Jets game is a playoff atmosphere. Stephon Diggs had 10 catches. Josh Allen was force feeding. I think that's where those interceptions kind of come in. He's force feeding them, right? and he was staring him down too. And I felt like he was trying to prove that, but it came back to bite him. Came back to bite him at the wrong time. That's my theory on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we look at football as this, like, sometimes, and I even find myself into these ruts where when I examine the game, I take the human element out. And it's like, man, these guys they put their pants on just like we do. You know what I'm saying? There's some real human stuff that's involved in these games, that they're not just X's and O's.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on that?
This whole thing with Stephon Diggs, everybody thinks wide receivers are prima donnas. I get it, But one thing I can say is I've always been a proponent of, if you're going to go down with your top dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so wide receivers, you got to give them the ball. So if we lose, like last night, one of the positive things is we lost, but Diggs had 10 catches for 100 yards.
Right.
Now, if we lose and he only had 2 or 3 catches for 30 yards, then you're going to look at that like, well, dang, that's the reason why we lost. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's how I look at football. Like, if you're going to, like the Kansas City, we keep talking about the Kansas City playoff game. Not Stephon Diggs, but Gabriel Davis had an all-time great game. 200-some yard receiving, 3-4 touchdowns. That was an all-time great playoff game, right? That's what you want to see if you're going to lose. Because if you don't get the statistics, then you look at that. Because the box score most of the time tells the story. So if you look at the stats and your top players ain't getting yards or they ain't getting catches, then you're going to blame your loss on that. So me as a fan, I want to see my dogs get their yardage.
Yeah. Let's talk about Spencer Brown. I felt like overall the offensive line played good. Like, considering that was a really good defense over there. The defensive line is one of the best in the league. We had 5 sacks, but all those aren't on the offensive line. I give maybe 2 to the offensive line. No, Spencer Brown had 1 early in the game, and I would say if it was Edwards or Torrance who got beat on the play, they gave up 1, and the other 3 were on Josh Allen for holding on the ball too long. Okay.
Yep.
Spencer Brown is another one that we should talk about. What were your thoughts on Spencer Brown in yesterday's performance?
Today, Jason Peters signed with the Seattle Seahawks. We should have flew out to Seattle and intercepted him and gave him twice as much money. I've been saying that Spencer Brown is not the solution. They keep trying to tell me he is, but my eyes are telling me different. I literally think I'm 6 foot, 400 pounds. I could get dog walk into the backfield just like Spencer Brown did, and I'll do it for less money. He got dog walk last night, and it ain't his fault. I'm sure he didn't sign up for this, but we need to address the right tackle situation. Somebody got cut. Who was that got cut, Jalen? Leo Collins from Cincinnati. Yeah, we need to pick him up, bro. We need to fix. I just had to ask my son. I got a 13-year-old son in the other room. And so we always talk about transactions. He got a football practice. He was like, you see Leon Collins got caught. We need to call him. So, but yeah, we need to address right tackle, man, because it was Spencer Brown. Like I said, it's not his fault. I just don't think he was ready for that. And some of the defensive ends that he's going to have to face on our schedule, man, I don't think that's going to be a one-off. There's going to be a lot of that. But I do want to say, though, I want to echo what you said. Those sacks, most of those sacks was on Josh Allen. It wasn't on the O-line. Next Gen Stats said that he had time to throw almost more than any quarterback this weekend. So that was his fault. So it wasn't out physical, but playing a quarterback position, you get what's called the yips, right? You start seeing ghosts. So you get your offense. It was one play, dude, where he put Spencer Brown all the way into Josh Allen. You're scared that that's going to continue to happen because he probably know that Spencer Brown can't hold up. So some of that he's getting out of the pocket when he didn't even need to sometimes because he's getting the yips. He's starting to see ghosts. So
yeah, that's one of the weaknesses of Brown's game where he at times has bad leverage. He lets a defensive end get inside of him. And that was the result of that. He got He got dog walked back. He wasn't I don't think he was anticipating power in that situation. I think he was anticipating defensive end to go around. And that's what happened. His base sometimes, I mean, you got to keep in mind, Spencer Brown's 6'9", and he's slender. So he doesn't have a lot of, he needs to be better at anchoring.
Anchoring down.
Yeah,
right.
and he at the point of attack, he's got to get better. So all is not lost on Spencer Brown. Like watching some of it, he had some good wins. Like I'm gonna say that he had some wins yesterday, but he can be a liability. But again, the Bills won 13 games last year with him being that trash. We got to see him get better. I mean, and I understand what you're saying, like Leo Collins and some of these other guys out there. We got Jermaine Ifedi, put his butt out there, platoon these guys. If Spencer Brown continues to be a casualty, you gotta supplement that and put Jermaine Ifedi in there. At least get him some reps or a couple series from time to time, because Mason Crosby's coming this week, and that's going to be a tough task.
Yeah, man, he's good, man. He's a good one. So all I'm saying is, can we get better? Is that the best we could do?
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Once again, I'm always thinking get better. Whatever I can do to try to get better.
Right.
And there's opportunities out there. Like I said, can an old Jason Peters, Buffalo and then Eagles, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Like, is he better right now than what we have? I would like to see. Man, I could be wrong. He might not have anything left in the tank. But that's your job as a GM to explore all those things. And we just can't stand back. Because once again, this is our window. You should be fighting and clawing and doing everything you can. It ain't sitting pat and hoping for the best. I'm doing everything I can, because it was teams this weekend, man. We got passed up by Cincinnati last year, right? Man, did you see Dallas this weekend?
Yeah, I did.
That ain't in our division or whatnot. That ain't in our conference, man. But Dallas, they look good, man. Miami, did you see Miami this weekend? They look good. Tua had the best weekend out of any quarterback. Tyreek Hill looked like nobody on earth could guard him. 200-some yards and 2 touchdowns, with many of them being yards at the catch. So
yeah. So well, I got some more good news, Big Newt. Okay, but first, let's go ahead and get this Picasso's deal out of the way.
Hey, football fans, the season is here, so that means family, football, and food. But for the NFL's best fan base, it can't be just any food. Bills Mafia only eats the best during the season, and the best is Picasso's Pizza. With 4 great locations in Western New York, it's so easy to treat yourself to the most flavorful pizza on game day. Picasso's. We are Buffalo Pizza, shipping local and nationwide. Order online at picassospizza.net.
All right, that's Picasso's Pizza there. So guess what? Just like pizza, it's good news. Here's some more good news. So one of the offseason storylines we talked about was pass rush. The pass rush was really good, Newt. Leonard Floyd he had juice.
Ooh. And you really saw it, man. I mean, you saw it in the beginning with Aaron Rodgers, but we had Wilson running for his life too. But Wilson's just a little bit more mobile, so he was able to elude the rush. But, man, we were getting the Rodgers, man. We were frustrating them. Leonard Floyd looked great. And I could just imagine once Von Miller gets off of the pub list, and you got a rotation with him and then Greg Rousseau coming out there in. Oh, man, I'm definitely looking forward to that. You're right, man. Our pass rush was real stout, man.
Yeah, and Rousseau, I think his presence on the field was not represented in the box score, but he was wreaking havoc.
Yeah,
he was good. And run support, he was really good. The defensive line, the defensive ends, like that's something we can hang our hat on. Like I feel like when Vaughn gets back and with those 3 pass rushes that we just mentioned, the Bills are going to be able to shut games down late because they have a good pass rush. So that's a positive that we can like look at that and go, okay, like what can we take from this game that's going into the season? The Bills actually have a pass rush. I think they're going to be okay on the pass rush. Big time.
I agree.
Let's also shift our focus, okay? Christian Benford. Look, man, I didn't want Dane Jackson to be CB2. I was very clear. I was vocal about it. I just feel like Dane Jackson is limited from a physical tool standpoint. But I do appreciate for what he does. He's always, he's one of those guys, like, he does it the right way. He's where he needs to be at the right time. But in today's NFL, where you're facing these wide receivers with so much juice, so much wiggle, route running precision, you need a guy that can run stride for stride with some of these guys, that can also press when needed, right? And it can make a play on the ball at the right time. And I feel like Christian Benford, even though we got him in the 6th round, I feel like he had a really solid game last night. What were your thoughts on him?
I think he played solid, man. Obviously, he's not probably the athlete that Elam is, but he showed athletic ability when he chased what's the name down. I think that was awesome. That was awesome, man. That's just showing 1-2, and that's something that you could really see as a standout. Once again, though, because he played man coverage like Elam, and I keep referring to Elam because I just remember yesterday late when I saw that Elam was going to be a scratch. Yeah. And I'm just like, dude, our 1st round pick cannot be a scratch. Like, if you don't like him, you got to trust him just to show him the other team and eventually trade him. Yeah. But just to have him sitting in street clothes, I don't know. So that's frustrating to me. But yeah, Benford, man, I thought he played decently. I can live with that.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to my dog Jeremy, other host here. He says, simply put, Josh got to find a way to be better against good defenses. I was okay with the majority of the gameplay elsewhere. Josh will bounce back, and he's right. Josh will bounce back. I'm not even mad at like Josh facing good defense because I feel like he's fared well. I think the Jets is just one of those teams that right now has his number, and they're testing his patience, and he's going to have to overcome that. We saw Mahomes do it. All the great quarterbacks get to a point where they have to go through this cycle. Josh Allen keeps failing the test, and we need to see Josh Allen ace his test because he will. The good news is he's going to see the Jets again. He's going to see some good defense. The Eagles are going to present some of the same challenges that the Jets do. The Dolphins are going to present some of those same challenges. So he's got, time to correct this, which is nice.
And he has opportunities. So
right.
Yeah.
Another thing that I really liked, outside of Stephon Diggs, I do like the play designs for Deontay Hardy. Like, I feel like it was different than how they use. I felt like the way they used McKenzie last year was very cookie cutter. It was very boxed. It was but I saw some variations into the jet sweep game and getting kind of some guys in motion. We didn't see the Bills kind of put guys in motion much last year. We saw that, with some of their offensive sets last night. I appreciated that. That's one positive thing I will give Ken Dorsey last night. And I'm not saying it's all his fault, but he does take some of the blame here. But I really did like some of the nuances that he had in the offense. What are your thoughts on maybe some of the creation of the play calling design?
I agree. He did some good things. And one thing that stood out to me, not only how Hardy was trying to get in space, trying to get him into space. You talked earlier about 12 personnel. I love when we went 3 tight ends. So you had Kincaid, Knox, and Morris on the field. So I enjoyed that too. So we have a lot of variations that we can do because we have different personnel and different talent, different places. So I enjoyed that. That's something that kind of stood out to be awesome.
Yeah, that was nice. So as we wrap up the Jets, we only got a few minutes left on the show. We wrap up the Jets. We got the Raiders coming into town this weekend. And I watched the Raiders-Broncos game because I live here in Denver, as you know, and stat for every snap. And I feel like this is my takeaway from the Raiders game. Jimmy Garoppolo wants to get the ball out quick, but he'll take a chance and hold on to it for a little bit. I don't feel like the Raiders, from an offensive line standpoint, are going to be able to really hold the Bills on the edges. I think they're going to have some problems there. Okay, and I really do think if we're looking for a game where Ed Oliver can really make a name for himself, I think this could be the week, man. Like Ed Oliver, I mean, I have to study him more on the All 22. I'll watch some of that later tonight before I go to bed. I really feel like he has an opportunity here to really make some hay. Okay. He's going to be going up against Andre James and Greg Van Roten. You got to capitalize on that. Okay. They got Colton Miller left tackle, who I think he's really good, But you got Jermaine Elamanure. I ain't feeling it, and the Denver Broncos don't have a pass rush, and I felt like a lot left to be desired at right tackle, man. So I think the Bills are going to have some opportunities. Are you familiar with the Raiders at all and what they be trying to do?
I didn't watch. That's one thing I didn't see this weekend was the Denver Raiders game. I wasn't too interested in that with all the other games going on, so I didn't really get a chance to watch that.
Yeah, okay. So I'll just fill you in. So Josh Jacobs is a dog. Like that guy,
yes.
I mean, first defender, he's breaking that tackle. So if the Bills are going to wreak havoc in this game, they got to make the first tackle because he's going to pound the first defender, right? Like he's going to run him over, he's going to truck him, he's going to juke, whatever it takes. And then, you're going to have to figure out, okay, like second level, Terrell Bernard has to be better in this game in terms of getting the defense in the proper alignments. And these guys are going to have to really fill their run responsibilities, fill their gaps. If they're really you can make the Raiders one-dimensional if you take their running back, Josh Jacobs, out of the game. It's over if you do that. But if you do not, you have the propensity to let them hang around.
Right, that's fair.
Yeah. Devontae Adams is a dog. Okay?
He's a dog.
He's a dog. Devontae Adams is that dude. But I do feel like, tell me this, regardless if you've watched any film of the Raiders, what's the mindset gonna be for the Bills coming into this game this weekend? Like, what do you honestly think and feel on that?
I feel like, and I said this on my show, you might think like this is a hot take. This is almost a must-win in week 2. Because if you go down 0-2, how many Super Bowl winners do you know go start the season 0-2? Right? And then ask yourself, if we drop this game against the Raiders, where else do you see a victory at? Right. I'm sure when you looked at the schedule, I'm sure a lot of people thought that, hey, we'll split with the Jets because we did last year. We split with the Jets, we split with Miami. Those division games, all right, that's said and done. But the Raiders game, I'm sure everybody have us beat the Raiders and also beating the Commanders the week after. So this is almost like, okay, when you talk about getting 10, 11 wins, and you look at our schedule where it's going to play out, it's almost like we have to have this game. It's going to be our home opener. It's going to be bananas. You're going to be in the building. Y'all going to have fun. Rest with the Bills Mafia and our podcast, Buffalo Rumblings.
Yes.
I think it's going to be off the chain, man. I think it's going to be electric. And I think we're going to get back in the win column. I think we're going to come back and win. Like I said earlier, that we're almost 10-point favorites. So Vegas knows something that we probably not haven't seen. So I think we're going to get the win, man. Once again, like you said, Jacobs, he's a beast, so we got to be able to tackle better. One thing I can say, I feel like Sean McDermott, we gambled a lot more. We brought a lot more pressure. We was getting to the quarterback early. But once again, sometimes, like you said, in those run fits, you miss one tackle, boom, they're gone. And that could be the difference in the game. And, teams that run the ball well, they can make you pay. But I don't anticipate that this weekend. And like I said, going back to what we talked about 30 minutes ago, they can run the football. But if Josh Allen plays like the player we know he can be, then we're going to come out with a victory.
Well, Big Newt, you got me excited for this game coming up on Sunday, man. It's been a pleasure having you on the Chop Up tonight, man. We got to do this more often, buddy.
Man, I'm open anytime, man. When you call me, man, I'm always down to hop on with you, man.
Man, I appreciate it, dog. And tell your daughter good luck. Tell her good luck and keep hooping, keep grinding, you know what I'm saying? And get to that next level.
And to your son also, thank you.
Absolutely, man. You guys have been listening to the Chop Up right here on the Buffalo Rumblings Vidcast feed. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe because we're going to be here all season long. I would love to say sayonara, but we're going to do a Go Bills, and we out of here. Peace.
Up front, can't tell me, because I do what I want. Self-made everything, you know we gon' stun. You know that we eat, and it's looking like lunch, so I tell them that I need it. Up front, can't tell me, because I do what I want. Self-made everything, you know we gon' stun. You know that we eat, and it's looking like lunch, so I tell them that I need it. Everything around my whole team, though. You ain't getting money, you niggas ain't never seen, though. Tell me where the cash at, I tell you where the stash at. I've been getting to it so long, been having flashbacks. I double that, triple that, spend it all, make it back. I need everything up front, no time for sitting back. Cool out, just relax, focus on this.